down through them and I'll hand these out after. We're going to start with our seniors. They're no longer with us, which is, I already cried at graduation, so I told them I'm not going to cry tonight. Okay, this is Norma Marquez. She was in fashion construction. She learned how to sew, and she made her own dress, and she did a really good job. And she also, the first thing she ever sewed was me a pillow, and I use it at every road trip. It's great, okay? And she did really good at regionals. She got 5th place at regionals, and she was a state qualifier. This is Christian Rodriguez and Esperanza Ruiz. They did a star event together. They did a chapter service project display, and they got 3rd place at regionals and 5th place at state. And what this, the thing that they were in, the star event they were in, isn't just, like an individual event. It represents what your whole chapter does. And we were against 4A and 5A schools, and for them to place is a really, really big deal for our chapter. The next is Hannah Wilhelm. She was in Teach and Train. She did a lesson down at the elementary school. She taught kids, and she did a really good job. She got 1st place at regionals. She was a state qualifier, and she got 4th place at state. Next is Aylin Olvera. She did recycle and redesign. She made a dress out of trash bags and playing cards. It was really neat. And here comes Sydney to work. She just got back from Carlton. That's why she's late. She got 6th place at regionals, and she was a state qualifier. Next is Vicky Hernandez and Isabel Flores. They did interpersonal communications. They did a lot with Spanish speaking in the community, helping students who mainly speak Spanish with work, translating it to English. They also went to the lab that we have here that helps Spanish-speaking people in the community learn how to speak English. They got 3rd at regionals, and they were state qualifiers. Next is Arturo Zuniga and Cindy Almon. Layla wasn't able to come. She's out of town with family. They got 2nd place at regionals and promoted publicized FCCLA. And then they went and they worked harder on their star event, and they came back and they got 1st at state. And the team that got 1st, beat them out at regionals, barely placed. So that was a big deal for them. So they made it to nationals. They went to nationals and they represented us great. They did a great job up there, and they came home with a silver medal from nationals. And at nationals, it's not just all of the states. Puerto Rico, everybody is there. So it was a really neat experience for them to not only go and compete against these people, but also see how FCCLA works and how different schools work all over the country. So that was really neat. And then another one is Diana Murrieta. She is working at David's right now. That's why she's not here. And she did good. She did applied technology, and she got 1st at regionals and 3rd at state. And before this year, we'd only placed 2 times at state ever, and this year we placed in 4 different categories. So we appreciate it.
Camp, and we have a line camp. These are 2 out of 3 of our officers. This is Marixa Perez and Jacqueline Turley is our captain. They went to a crowd pleasers camp this summer out in DFW, and they competed against 5A, 4A studios who have been dancing since they were 2, and they competed in the gold division, and they placed 1st in gold division. Then for my cheerleaders, they are MIA. They're taking pictures right now, actually. But they also got 1st at UCA, Universal Cheerleader Association Camp. And they got 1st for all-around camp champion in the small varsity division. And then we had 3 All-Americans. All-American cheerleaders are Mariah Sojourner, Lindy Fletcher, and Joyce Folleman.
Hey, this bunch of young men, we've got 2 that aren't here right now. One's sick, and one's back watching film with the JV bunch, because there's Braden Burles, and he was our lone freshman that came up. We pulled him up, it was a really good tournament for him. These young men, we played all summer, played the 6-team, 6-week-long local league, more or less, with Santo and Toller and Hamilton and De Leon. And then we participated in 4 state qualifying events. In the second state qualifier, over Glenrose, and we made it to we won our pool, went 3-0 in it, and then we faced Glenrose, and we beat Glenrose at the end of the game, which the state tournament. So we got to travel to Austin, which was a neat experience. Anytime you get to take kids out of town, put them in a hotel, and then have people brag on your kids how well they act and how well they behave. When you're out of town, even the restaurants we went to, you know, it's very complimentary. So it's, again, I say it a lot, how what a great community we live in, but it's evident when we get to travel out of town and everybody gets to see who we are. We went to the state tournament. It's broken up into Division I, Division II. Division I is all 4A, 5As. Division II is all 3As, 2As, 1As, and private schools. And we were in the Division II bracket, and they were very kind to us. They put us in there with 3A Division I schools. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but you're allowed to bring up to 21 players. We brought 14. Everybody we played brought 21. They had an offense and a defense, and our kids played both ways. Whole game at about 110-degree heat, and played admirably. Well conditioned, did a really good job. We started off with Tyler Chapel Hill. Tyler Chapel Hill used to be a powerhouse in 4A. They've since come down to 3A. They're very strong. We got beat by them. That was kind of an awakening to wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning and face those guys. We played Wimberley. Wimberley was a state champion 2010, and we had them tied 16-16 at half. And they got us there at the end. And then we played Port Isabel, which is down by South Padre Island, and they came up, and we beat them. So that was a good win. That was our first win at the state tournament. Then the next morning, we got to play Glenrose again. The way that we started bracket play on the next day, so we lined up with Glenrose. We were down 19-7 until about the last 45 seconds of the game. We were behind, but we scored right at the end, and so that was very nice. The guy that's head coach at Glenrose, very dear friend of mine, coached together with him for years, and it was a good feeling. Anyways, we beat them, and then we got to face Carthage. Carthage, you know, was picked, if you read Texas football, they're picked to win the 3A Division I crown, beat Steveville in the finals. With 4 minutes to go in the game, the score was 32-26. And it was a great experience for us because we found out that we can throw and catch with just about everybody we play. And that's a step in the right direction where we want to go. So we didn't score on those, so we got beat by them, but we did come away with 2 wins at the state tournament. And was down coaching school, and I didn't tell the guys this. There's a guy called Carl Padilla. He's the Padilla Bowl that comes out, and he's a real football fan, and he's really he runs his own web service and everything. And we're down there at coaching school, and I was talking with one of my buddies, and he came up. He said, "How you doing?" I'm Carl Padilla. He saw my name tag. He says, "You need to subscribe to our deal." I said, "Well, when you're 109 out of 109, there's really not much to really subscribe to, is there?" And he goes, no, young man. He said, "I'll tell you what, I saw y'all down state tournament. You guys have definitely made some moves." So that was a compliment from somebody that's not in our area. So we're excited to get the season started. Great young man. Let me introduce him to you. We have, I'm going to go down the line here so I don't leave anybody. Abel Aguilar, where we at? That's good. Devin Thompson, big old guy. Ricky Chacon. And we got Corey Kendall. Nice hair, Corey. Travis Blazey's homesick, but hopefully we'll have him tomorrow. Brady Holman. Dirk DeVries. Guy with 2 last names. Manny Ramirez. Smile, man. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people have some stories in here to tell about you. Earlier years. Hayden Gerardo. Don't smile. You know, you have teachable moments. And so we didn't start practice yet. We're just going to do a little kickoff return before we start practice. Well, we thought somebody naturally thought he might start covering deep, so we tapped an onside kick. Well, then he stopped. He goes, "Oh my gosh," and he came back. For some reason, he didn't have his chin strap buckled or his mouthpiece in, so you want to smile for everybody? Needless to say, he'll be seeing the guy that works on teeth. Rudy Rodriguez, Rudy Tootie here, Tyler Stone, Ozzy. Ozzy didn't make it. Other line, they don't like this stuff. Ozzy was down there, he's working on snap, and he also plays defense for us. And then Zoe Kendall, and then Braden Burleson. So these are our state qualifiers for 7-on-7.